What's up, people? In this video, how dieting makes us fat. Carmen Sizikli? How about this one? He's a fitness coach. How dieting makes us fat. Okay. Fuck.
And end up making you fatter.
Making you fatter. God, I don't know. This is like my problem with like business or blogs or anything content related, is that like all you have to do is just put out a popular message. Like it's proven already like what's popular in the mainstream, and as long as you regurgitate that shit, like dieting is bad. Okay, that's not wrong. Like dieting, as most people do it, is fucking stupid. But what people take this to mean is that you shouldn't watch what you eat. Like, you understand what I mean? Like, to them, like eating healthy food and dieting is the same thing. So like, this is like, I mean, I don't know. I'm prejudging. Let's see.
In today's video, how your fat loss diet can actually end up making you fatter. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Revelia from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about how the process of dieting to lose body fat can actually leave you in a place where you have more body fat. Sound terrible? Well, then listen up, because I got to drop some knowledge for you guys, because this is a common trend that I see, and I don't see it changing, not recently at least. So let's talk about this process of getting body fat off and how most people do it and how perhaps we could be doing it, okay? And I'm going to use some information from a couple of studies that I'll link below if you're interested in looking at some of the science behind this. And what it really relates to is the fact that there's a correlation between the amount of times that someone tries to lose body fat and the amount they have of extra body fat. Meaning, the more times you try to diet, the more likely you are to be heavier. Well, that sounds terrible. So why would anyone try to diet in the first place? Well, there's a solution. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So the idea is we take someone who's got some weight to lose. And the typical approach to this is a very restrictive diet and perhaps a lack of knowledge around nutrition, training, just overall well-being. And especially when I see people doing detoxes or these, radical low-calorie diets.
I think I just hate everything at this point. So I don't know where he's going with this. I think, I honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure where he's going with this. But like the message that people will take from this, like I said a minute ago, is that what did he say? The more times people try to lose weight, the more body fat they'll have, the fatter they'll be, right? So what does that mean? What does that tell people? Oh, so that means I shouldn't try to lose weight. I'll just eat whatever I want and use that as an excuse because some fucking guy on the internet with a beard said it was a good idea. Okay, great. Dieting in and of itself is not a good idea because the implication of a diet is that it's temporary, right? So what people end up doing is they do like, oh my God, if I had $1 for fucking all these videos that I watch, like all these women who are like, mainly women, they starve themselves for like a couple days and then they crack and then they binge and they're like, okay, I'll start my diet again on Monday. And then they fucking repeat the entire process. You know what I mean? That's like their idea of a diet, right? So in that sense, dieting is not good, but like what's the difference between dieting and doing OMAD, right? You could call it the OMAD diet, but that's really just like semantics because that's just what people call it. That's just what it's known as. I get it's not, you can call it a diet or you can call it a lifestyle, right? Or you can call it an eating schedule, right? Or you can call it a protocol, right? All those things, they imply a little bit more permanence. And when something is permanent, it naturally has to be sustainable for it to be permanent. Otherwise you just die. You know what I mean? And like, what's the point? Right? So like if your diet is not sustainable, then it's a fucking stupid diet. Okay, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if he's going to mention that, but like I said, the problem is that most people are either so unsophisticated when it comes to health, or just honestly, I don't think it's unsophistication. I think it's just fucking laziness and looking for shortcuts and easy answers that they don't want to put any thought into it, which I don't really blame them. I don't want to fucking put any thought into fitness either. I think it's boring as fuck. But they don't put any thought into like how to actually make it sustainable. They're just like, oh, okay, like I want to lose weight because I have an event coming up. I'm going to starve myself and eat, fucking 4 veggie chips a day. And so I can fit into my dress or whatever. And then after the party, like I'm gonna just go crazy and get fat again because I don't have healthy habits in place anyway. I made this video, what was it, like a month ago maybe at this point, a couple of weeks, about how to like fix your eating disorder. It's an hour long. I think it's very good. But basically the point is that in order to, like if you want to be in good shape, you need to have healthy habits in place, right? You have healthy habits in place, you can eat whatever you want. Like it's that simple. You can try and promote this. I guess, you know, this message is going to be very popular with like fat people who can't lose weight, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, he's so right. Oh, let me write this down. This is another excuse as to why I'm fat. I'm totally going to use this in my next fucking Twitter argument. It's like, why don't you, whatever.
To see some rapid fat loss, well, that leaves them in a place where they end up losing a little bit of muscle or lean body mass. And so the Minnesota starvation experiment actually showed some interesting research that hyperphagia, which is the hunger that we have, didn't return to normal after a diet until body mass returned to normal. So what happens when you starve someone? Well, they lose lean body mass. At the end of that starvation, and the starvation experiment, they didn't actually starve them. They actually got to eat food, much like someone who goes through a rapid fat loss protocol would do. Well, at the end of that, let's say you reach your goal, you get your 20 pounds off, you return to a normal eating pattern where you eat intuitively or whatever approach you take. Well, hunger is going to be elevated. That's called hyperphagia. When should that end? Now, typically you would think that would end when your body fat returns to normal, right? Well, the problem is that you've lost some lean body mass, and the body recognizes this. And this is where we get into some real problems. So you essentially are going to overeat until your lean body mass returns to normal, which isn't going to happen until your body fat is higher. So you've essentially done the job of dieting all this weight off, only to end up with more body fat and heavier than you started, and likely in a worse metabolic.
That's actually pretty interesting. I didn't know that. So I guess there is one nugget of gold in this fucking pile of shit. So the reason I don't like, I mean, you know, and to be fair, maybe he's trying to speak the language of fucking stupid, lazy people who will watch this video, who focus instead on looking good and performing well, will focus on weight loss, right? Because what did he say? He's like, okay, you lost your 20 pounds, but how much of that was lean body mass? So I'm not sure if that's like his main area of focus because he's a bodybuilder or something. I don't know. Maybe he is dumbing it down a little bit for people. But again, like you shouldn't focus on your weight. Like your weight does not actually matter because nobody gives a fuck about what your weight is. What actually matters is how you look and how you feel and how you perform. If you look like shit, you're fucking tired all the time and you're bloated and you feel like shit and you perform like garbage, then who cares how much you weigh? Like actually who cares? You're gonna like carry around your scale and show people how much you weigh? No, of course not. It doesn't actually matter, right? It only matters like to you when you step on the scale for like 5 seconds and you're like, oh my God, I'm like 8 pounds heavier than what I weighed in high school. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, I hate my life. So yeah, I don't know. Well, what else you got, dog? Oh, also, like the Minnesota starvation diet or experiment, they were not fasting. Notice they don't call it the Minnesota fucking fasting experiment. When you eat at a caloric deficit for an extended period of time, that's bad. That's very bad, which is what all these fucking skeleton girls do, by the way, is they eat at a caloric deficit for an extended period of time, thinking that they're going to get the body that they want, and they end up looking like skeletons because their body gets rid of all their lean body mass. So that's bad. However, controlled fasting, OMAD, for example, eating once every 24 hours, let's say, or even doing some 48 or 72-hour fasts is apparently muscle sparing. So you will retain your lean body mass and you will burn body fat, which I'm not sure if he's going to mention that. I rarely hear any bodybuilders ever mention fasting. But maybe he will. I'm not sure. However, one thing that I think he said that he said that I thought was interesting was this idea that your initial hunger won't go away until you reach your previous levels of lean body mass. I'm not sure if that's. I think your hunger can go away if you wait it out and you adjust to your new levels of lean body mass. But I think if you don't have the willpower to, why would you want to do that? Like you shouldn't want to. That's like for skeleton people to do. I think that's possible. Worth mentioning. Obviously not ideal. Nobody should do it. But that kind of leads to an unspoken solution, which you might actually get to now, which is that if you lose fat and maintain the same level of lean body mass, then your hunger will not increase, right? If you manage to do that, right? Or let's say whatever, random numbers here. Let's say you lose this much fat and you lose like this much muscle, right? And then you gain back the muscle that you lost. and you gain back, let's say, a third of the fat, right? That's 3 steps forward, 1 step back, so to speak. All right, let's see where he's going with this.
Position. And why is that? That's because at the end of this diet, our body is going to restore fat at an accelerated rate. So why am I talking about this? How can we fix this? Well, I see something a bit differently happening with the people that I work with. I work with a very specific population of competitors. We compete in physique competitions. However, we tend to do some pretty extreme things to get body fat off, like low-calorie dieting, plenty of cardio. The caveat there is that we are not dieting just to see the scale go down. No, we are dieting to get on a physique stage, which requires we have as much muscle as possible. So the priority through this process is going to be training and nutrition based around our performance in perhaps the gym, if that is indeed the person I'm working with. So a bodybuilder, their goal is to keep as much muscle as possible while also getting rid of as much body fat as possible. So while they are in a tough position after a show, and we've all heard about rapid weight gain post-competition, we do not lose nearly as much lean body mass as someone who goes through a crash diet and does not resistance train or does not pay attention to proper macronutrients and whole food approaches to getting the weight off. They just fast, or they do some kind of a detox or whatever approach with the very low calories where they're crash dieting. They're losing a considerable amount of lean body mass. Whereas the study with Chris Foz from a few years ago showed he was actually able to keep all of his lean body mass through 6 months of dieting and 6 months of restoring. Okay, the lean body mass did not change that much, which allowed him to not body fat overshoot. Okay, he ended up coming back to baseline. Whereas the typical person that goes through a fat loss phase without paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you should also mention the guy was like fucking injecting fake hormones. Maybe worth mentioning, don't you think? Or is that did they not test for that in the study? Yeah, gonna say I don't know. Is this natural bodybuilder? Wow, I don't know. Damn, natural, huh? Looking very brown. Yikes. Okay, doing it naturally, huh? So apparently he doesn't like fasting, doesn't seem to draw this distinction between fasting and low-calorie diets. Because fasting is not low-calorie, it's no-calorie. And you know what I kind of want to try? I mean, I don't really like bodybuilding. I think it's a waste of time, and it's like my least favorite way to actually train. But I think what would be interesting is to try and put on as much muscle as possible. Like essentially bulk, let's say bulk, I don't know, throwing out numbers here. Let's say bulk 3 days a week, and then eat, let's say at maintenance 2 days a week, and then fast for 2 days a week, right? My theory is that I would continue to gain muscle slowly, obviously, during that time. So I'm not really sure, but my like I said, my theory is that my body would put on muscle and also add fat, and then when I fasted, my body would only get rid of the fat because fasting is apparently muscle sparing. I'm not sure actually how true that is. I do fast. I eat only once a day. I'm not sure if my body gets rid of muscle. I have like a fair amount of muscle, but I generally try to stay pretty lean, so I don't like. I'm not like, and I also do full body workouts every time I go. I do virtually no isolation exercises, and I only work out every other day. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not doing, when I say I do bodybuilding workouts, I do like a full body circuit, every other day, which is not like, and I also run for 2 hours a day when I train. So like, obviously not going to put on a lot of mass doing that. But let's see here. All right, this person does OMAD. All right.
And I'll just do that again. Well, the next time you do that diet, you might only lose 5 or 10 pounds to put 15 back on. The next time you might only lose 2 pounds and you put 5 back on. You see where I'm going here. You see the trend, okay? Whereas us, the population of competitive bodybuilders or physique athletes, whatever you want to refer to us as, our goals each time we diet down is to take an approach to coming out of competition with intention of putting on more lean body mass, putting on more muscle so that we can get better for the stage next time. Even if we never compete again, the sport is about lean body mass, muscle, keeping it, building more of it, okay? It's just a different type of lifestyle. And though the two get lumped together, dieting, like an extreme fat loss diet or dieting for contest prep, they could not be more different. And this is where I think the solution lies. Now, it's not very sexy to tell someone that they should go in the gym and try to lose 1 or 2 pounds a week of body fat. That doesn't sound very exciting, but the difference is it's more maintainable. Yes, it's very exciting to drop 7 pounds the first day you start a diet because you fasted and you're depleted, and maybe you lose 10 pounds the first week, but that's not fat loss, okay? There's a big difference between fat loss and weight loss, especially in these approaches. And that's the scary part, is that we get into a position where someone is overshooting their body fat so long that they're now well over where they started their first diet from, and they don't know how to fix it. And unfortunately, the best way to fix it is going to be something that sounds scary to them, and that is going to be to maintain eating at that higher level for a longer period of time until you completely restore what you lost, lean body mass. I hate this.
Yeah, that's retarded. I mean, I don't understand these people who knock fasting. Like, it's always these like, I don't want to say pro bodybuilders, but like, well, I guess he's a pro bodybuilder, but it's always like these pro bodybuilders who are like trainers who push this like fucking 8 meals a day, lose a pound a week. You know what I mean? Like, how much easier is it to just not eat for a fucking week and lose 10 pounds of fat? You know what I mean? Like, how much easier is that, right? And then just eat healthy food to like, I guess you'll lose a little bit of muscle if you fast for a week. I'm not really sure. Like, I just did a 48 and I swear to God, like my arms got bigger. I'm not really sure how, but I don't know. Like, who the fuck knows? Um, but like, I don't understand. Like, why do they just not try it? Like, is he saying that you'll lose lean body mass if you fast? I mean, I guess you might lose. It's possible you'll lose a little bit, but you'll lose way more fat, and the like small amount of lean body mass that you do lose, which I'm not like, I've heard snake diet guys say many times that fasting is muscle sparing. Haven't actually looked that up. From my experience, it is, but I'm also pretty fit and train a lot. So like, is it because of that? And I also eat a lot of meat to like replenish fucking anything that I might lose. But I don't know. Like, I would never in a million years tell anybody to eat under maintenance for an extended period of time. Like, either you're fasting or you're fucking binging, like straight up. Like, either you eat nothing, or in a day, let's say, or a week, either you have no food, or you have a gigantic meal and fucking stuff yourself. That's just. And again, I think all these guys, I don't want to say they're biased. They're biased. Let's just say that, right? They're biased because they are physique competitors, and in order to build that type of body with that much muscle, I think you need to eat several meals throughout the day, right? It does not, at least some of the time, right? Like, my idea before of like, let's say bulking 3 days a week, fasting 2 days a week, and eating at maintenance 2 days a week. As far as I know, that has never been done. That's not been tried, because the common wisdom in these bodybuilding, like pro bodybuilding communities, is that you bulk for whatever, I don't know, 6 months, 4 months, however long they do it. And then you cut before a competition, and you cut by reducing your calories very slowly and doing lots of cardio. You will lose like a little bit of muscle during that time, but I guess like, you want to achieve a look. So like, what are you going to do? And I guess the reason they don't fast is because when you lose a small amount of weight over an extended period of time, and you do that multiple times for several different competitions, you learn how to dial it in a lot tighter, because you've gone through the process many times. So okay, last time I fucking was on a cut for like 36 days and I lost this much weight. I was at this body fat percentage. I ate this, and this for my fucking 6 meals a day. So now I know I can tweak it like just a little bit. Whereas if you fast, you run it's too big of a jump, I guess. Like, you can lose a lot of fat. It's very efficient for fat loss. But if you fast for too long, if you time the fast incorrectly, like let's say you fast for too long and the day before the show you're like actually dying, what are you going to do? You're going to like eat or something? Like, you might fuck it up, I guess is what I mean, and fuck up your physique. Okay, what else you got, dog?
Sound like a bro, but you probably got to get in the gym or find a resistance training program that's going to allow you to put on some muscle, allow you to get rid of that hyperphagia, that hunger, so that you can get back to your baseline and then do it the right way the next time. Meaning, you diet slowly, you take body fat off in a manner where you're maintaining lean body mass. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully, this all makes sense.
Did he just apologize for telling people to get in the gym? God, this is the state of like America these days. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you've posted this, because a lot of people in the intuitive eating / anti-dieting community now are almost making it sound bad and scary to try and lose weight, because it will automatically make you gain weight. But I've also noticed a lot in the community either went very extreme or are ex-slimming world / Weight Watchers who may not have ever trained properly in the gym. Yes, exactly. Right. This right here, like, what people will take this to mean, fucking stupid people who are just looking for excuses anyway, they'll be like, oh, dieting makes you fat? That means I'll never try to lose weight ever again, because I'll just get fatter. So now I'm going to like not care about what I eat at all and not exercise or anything, because that's bad for you or something. Because people are dumb and they don't actually like, they're not going to like look into it too deeply. And as far as like you know, whatever. I get it. Like you're this guy's famous, right? 120,000. I guess when you get that big, you have to apologize for fucking common sense at that point. You have to be like, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna sound like a bro, but like, go to the gym. I hope I never get like that. It's almost like, am I willing to sacrifice mainstream notoriety to be able to keep my message as like direct as possible? I don't know. We'll see. Depends how much they pay me. Anyway, if you guys have any other recommendations for videos or YouTubers you want me to take a look at, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.